welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a pretty ambitious goal.
Yeah, ambitious is a good word for it.
We're going to dive into what it would actually take to earn 30,000 euro every single day in 2025.
That's right. We're talking serious earning potential here.
No, I know. That number probably sounds a little, well, out there.
It definitely grabs your attention.
But we've been doing some digging, looking at reports, articles, real examples, and honestly, there's some pretty compelling stuff out there.
Oh, yeah. Some fascinating strategies and real-world examples of how people are approaching this kind of income goal.
So our mission today is to cut through the hype.
Absolutely.
We want to get to the practical steps, the realistic opportunities that could potentially make this a reality. Not just talk about what's theoretically possible, but what's actually doable.
That's what we're here for, actionable insights.
Exactly. And as we were going through all this material, we noticed three main paths kept popping up again and again.
Oh, yeah. Definitely saw some recurring themes.
The first one is all about really mastering those high-paying skills. Either landing a great job or going the freelance route.
Right. Leveraging your expertise.
The second path is all about, well, becoming your own boss, diving into the world of business and entrepreneurship, building something that can really scale.
Building something with the potential to grow beyond just your own individual efforts.
And then the third path, the one that always gets people excited, is figuring out how to make your money work for you. Investments. Passive income streams.
Putting your money to work, smarter, not harder.
Throughout this deep dive, we're going to be highlighting the specific skills that are in high demand, the particular business models that are showing real promise. And we'll get into some concrete ways to build those passive income streams.
Giving you a much clearer picture of what it really takes, what you need to focus on, and the kind of effort involved.
Okay, so let's get down to it. We're talking about 30,000 per day. That's what, around 9 lakh per month?
Yeah, you're looking at about 9 lakh a month.
And annually, we're talking 1.08 crore.
That's right. Over a year, you'd be earning over a crore.
So it's a big goal.
No doubt about it.
But what's interesting is, and what really came through in a lot of this material, is that reaching this kind of number isn't just about working yourself to the bone. It's not about just putting in more hours.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. It's about being strategic, about choosing the right opportunities and knowing where to focus your energy.
It's about leverage, making the most of your skills and your time.
So let's say someone's listening to this and they're thinking, all right, I'm ready to take this seriously. Where do I even begin? A lot of the sources we looked at pointed to high income skills as that crucial first step.
Yeah, having the right skills is essential. It lays the foundation.
So when we talk about high income skills, what are we really talking about? What kind of skills are we focused on?
We're talking about specialized abilities that are currently in very high demand. The market is willing to pay a premium for these talents.
Okay, so what did our research say about the most promising high-income skills right now?
Well, we saw 4 main areas highlighted pretty consistently.
All right, let's break those down. The first one, and it feels like you can't go anywhere these days without hearing about it, is AI and automation.
It's definitely the buzzword of the moment, but there's a lot of substance behind the hype.
What are some specific examples of how people are using AI to earn serious money?
So one of the sources talked about using ChatGPT, that AI chatbot everyone's talking about, to automate different business processes. It can save companies a ton of time and money, so they're willing to pay for expertise in this area.
Makes sense.
Another area mentioned was developing custom AI solutions, building AI programs tailored to specific needs. That requires more technical skill, but the earning potential is even higher.
And then there's prompt engineering. That sounds interesting. What's that all about?
It sounds more complicated than it is. It's basically the art of giving AI the right instructions. The more precise and effective your prompts are, the better the results the AI can generate.
So you need to know how to speak to the AI to get it to do what you want.
Exactly. And there are people making good money just from crafting really effective prompts.
Wow. I guess it really highlights how this whole AI thing is changing the game.
It really is. One source even gave the example of someone building an AI chatbot that could potentially earn between 5 and 10 lakh per project.
Little project. That's huge.
That really shows you the kind of value businesses are placing on AI expertise right now.
All right, the second skill area that kept coming up was digital marketing and paid ads. This isn't exactly a new field, but it's obviously still super relevant.
It's more important than ever. Every business needs to have a strong online presence, and that's where digital marketing comes in.
What are some of the specific skills within digital marketing that are most in demand?
SEO is always going to be important. That's all about optimizing websites so they rank higher in search engine results.
Right. So when people search for something on Google, your website is the one that shows up at the top.
Exactly. Then there's social media marketing, knowing how to create engaging content, run effective ad campaigns, and build a following on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
It feels like every platform has its own little world of rules and strategies.
They really do. And then there's paid advertising, which is a whole other beast. You need to understand how to target the right audience, craft compelling ad copy, and manage budgets effectively.
I've heard horror stories of people spending a ton of money on ads that don't get any results.
It's definitely a skill that takes practice and expertise.
What kind of earning potential are we talking about for someone skilled in digital marketing?
Well, the sources we looked at said that even just managing ad campaigns for clients can often command fees of $50,000 or more per project. And if you're a freelancer who really specializes in a particular area and builds a strong reputation, you can easily be earning 1 to 5 lakh per month.
Okay, that's significant.
Businesses know they need to invest in digital marketing, so the demand for skilled professionals is only going to keep growing.
All right, moving on to a field that can be a little bit more volatile, but it definitely offers the potential for big rewards, trading and investments.
Yeah, this one comes with a higher level of risk, and it's important to be aware of that. But the potential returns can be very attractive.
What kind of trading are we talking about here? Stocks, crypto?
All of the above. The sources we looked at mentioned stock trading, cryptocurrency trading, and foreign exchange trading.
So essentially, buying and selling different assets with the goal of making a profit.
Exactly. There are different strategies involved, different levels of risk. Some people focus on short-term trading, trying to make quick profits from small price fluctuations. Others take a longer-term approach, investing in assets they believe will grow in value over time.
I imagine you need a certain personality type to handle the ups and downs of the market.
Definitely. It's not for everyone. But one source claimed that experienced traders can potentially make 1 to 3 lakh per day in short-term trading.
Per day? That's a lot.
It is. Now, that's likely on the higher end of what's realistic, but it illustrates the potential upside if you know what you're doing and you can manage the risk.
Is there a less risky way to approach this?
Well, the sources also talked about generating passive income through long-term investing. Putting your money into stocks that pay dividends. You're essentially earning money when you sleep.
Okay, that sounds a little less stressful.
It can be. But it's important to do your research, choose your investments carefully, and be prepared to hold them for the long haul.
Makes sense. All right, the last high income skill we wanted to talk about is something I think a lot of people are at least a little bit curious about: YouTube and content creation.
It's definitely become a more legitimate and potentially lucrative career path in recent years.
What are some of the ways content creators are actually making money? I mean, I know there's ad revenue, but is there more to it?
Oh, there's definitely more to it. Ad revenue from views is the most obvious one. But creators can also make money through brand deals and sponsorships. Companies are willing to pay to get their products featured in popular videos or mentioned by influential creators.
Right, because they have a built-in audience.
Exactly. And then there's affiliate marketing, which we touched on earlier. Basically, you recommend products to your audience, and if they make a purchase through your unique link, you earn a commission.
Okay, so you're essentially leveraging your platform to promote products you believe in.
And earning a cut of the sales.
Smart. So what kind of income can someone realistically expect to make as a YouTuber or content creator?
Well, it obviously depends on a lot of factors. The size of your audience, the niche you're in, how effectively you monetize your content. But one source suggested that 1 lakh per month could be a realistic starting point for a channel with a dedicated following.
1 lakh per month just from making videos. That's pretty impressive.
It is. And they even mentioned some well-known Indian creators like Technical Guruji, BB Keyvines, and Finance with Sharon as examples of those who are earning 10 lakh or more per month.
Okay, now we're talking serious money.
It shows the potential is there, but it takes consistent effort, high-quality content, and smart strategies to reach that level.
Looking at all these different high-income skills, is there a common thread that runs through them?
There is. And the sources we looked at highlighted this pretty clearly. It's all about identifying areas where people, and businesses especially, are already spending money.
If you can find a way to tap into that existing demand.
Exactly. If you can develop a skill that solves a problem, that fills a need in those areas, then your earning potential goes way up. You're essentially positioning yourself where the money is already flowing.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we've talked about developing high income skills as a potential path to hitting that 30,000 per day goal. But what if someone is thinking, I want to build something bigger, something of my own? Let's talk about business and entrepreneurship as another route.
Yeah, this is often seen as a faster way to potentially scale your income, and it definitely gives you more control. You're the one calling the shots.
So what are some of the business models that are showing real promise in terms of generating significant revenue?
The sources we analyzed pointed to four in particular.
All right, let's dive into those. The first one is something we're seeing more and more of these days, e-commerce and drop shipping.
Yeah, online shopping has exploded, and it's only going to keep growing.
What's the appeal of drop shipping? I've heard that term thrown around a lot.
It's a really attractive business model, especially for beginners. Basically, you set up an online store, but you don't actually hold any inventory yourself. When a customer orders a product from your store, you forward that order to a third-party supplier, and they ship it directly to the customer.
So you don't have to deal with storing products, packing orders, any of that.
Exactly. It significantly lowers the initial investment and the risk involved.
What kind of earning potential are we talking about with e-commerce and drop shipping?
Well, the sources suggest that if you do it right, if you choose the right products, market them effectively, and manage your business well, you could potentially be generating €1 to 5 lakh in sales per day.
Per day.
It's a big number, but it is possible. There are definitely success stories out there.
All right. Next up is affiliate marketing. Didn't we talk about this a bit earlier?
Yeah, there's some overlap with content creation. Affiliate marketing is all about partnering with companies and promoting their products or services. You get a unique referral link, and every time someone makes a purchase through your link, you earn a commission.
So you're essentially getting a cut of every sale you help generate.
That's the idea.
What are some common ways people are doing affiliate marketing?
Well, one of those popular methods is promoting products on Amazon. They have a huge marketplace, so there's something for everyone. But you can also promote digital products like online courses, software, ebooks, through your own website, blog, or social media channels.
So you don't necessarily need a massive YouTube following to be successful with affiliate marketing.
Not necessarily. If you have a niche audience and you build trust with them, you can definitely make it work.
What kind of income can a successful affiliate marketer expect to make?
The sources we looked at suggested that top affiliate marketers are earning in the range of €3 to 5 lakh per month, and can be a very scalable business model. Once you've built an audience and a system for promoting products, the income can continue to grow relatively passively.
Okay, the third business model we wanted to talk about is online coaching and digital products. It seems like a really direct way to leverage your knowledge and expertise.
It is. It's essentially packaging your skills and knowledge into something you can sell.
What are some examples of digital products?
Oh, there's a wide range. Online courses are very popular. You could create a course teaching anything from photography to web development to cooking to, well, anything you're good at.
So you're essentially creating a structured learning experience that people can access online.
Right. Then there are ebooks, which are still very popular. Templates, worksheets, cheat sheets, anything that provides value and can be downloaded instantly.
And then there's software and apps. Those are a bit more complex to create, I imagine.
They can be, but the potential rewards can be huge. Just think about all the apps we use on a daily basis.
What kind of income can someone realistically generate from online coaching and digital products?
Well, it depends on a lot of factors, of course. The price of your products, your marketing efforts, the demand for what you're offering. But the sources gave a great example. Let's say you create an online course priced at €5,000 and you sell it to 100 people. That's 5 lakh in revenue right there.
That's a pretty compelling illustration.
And they highlighted the earning potential for coaches in specific niches, like finance, fitness, business coaching. Some of these coaches are earning upwards of 10 lakh per month.
Wow. So there's a lot of potential there if you can position yourself as an expert in a high-demand field.
Exactly. People are willing to pay for knowledge and guidance that can help them improve their lives or their businesses.
Okay, the last business model on our list is digital agencies. Is this basically like taking those high-income skills we talked about and scaling them up?
That's exactly it. Instead of working as a solo freelancer, you build a team and offer a wider range of services.
What kinds of services are we talking about?
The most common ones are digital marketing, web development, and increasingly AI automation. Anything businesses need to succeed online.
So you're essentially acting as an outsourced solution for their online needs.
Exactly. You handle everything so they don't have to worry about it.
What kind of income potential are we looking at for digital agencies?
Well, the sources gave an example. Let's say you have an agency with 10 clients, and each client is paying you 1 lakh per month. That's 10 lakh in monthly revenue.
Okay, now we're talking serious numbers.
And the beauty of this model is that it's very scalable. As you get more clients and build a strong team, your income potential grows exponentially.
So it seems like the key difference between these business models and just focusing on high income skills is that you're not limited by your own time and effort.
Exactly. You're building systems, teams, products that can generate income even when you're not actively working.
Yeah.
You're creating leverage.
Okay, we've talked about earning active income through high income skills and scaling up through business. Now let's talk about something that, let's be honest, a lot of people find really appealing: passive income streams.
Who doesn't love the idea of earning money while they sleep?
Right. So let's break down how to build assets that can generate income consistently, even when you're not actively working.
The sources we looked at outline 4 main ways to approach passive income. The first one is something we touched on earlier, but let's dig a little deeper. Stocks and dividends.
Okay, remind me how this one works.
So you invest in established, well-known companies, what are often called blue chip stocks, and you earn money in 2 ways.
All right, I'm listening.
First, the value of the stock itself can go up over time. So you buy it at one price, and hopefully years later, it's worth significantly more.
Makes sense. So you buy low, sell high.
Exactly. And the second way you earn money is through dividends. Many of these companies pay out a portion of their profits to shareholders on a regular basis.
So it's like getting a little bonus just for owning the stock.
Exactly. The sources give an example. If you invest 50 lakh in stocks that yield an average annual return of 12%, you could potentially be making 5 to 6 lakh per year in passive income.
That's a pretty nice return.
It is. But remember, the stock market can be volatile. So it's important to diversify your portfolio and be prepared to hold your investments for the long term.
All right, the next passive income strategy is a classic: real estate rentals.
This one's pretty straightforward. You buy a property, you rent it out to tenants, and they pay you rent every month.
So you're essentially creating a steady stream of cash flow.
Exactly. The sources give a simple example. If you own 3 rental properties and each one generates $30,000 per month in rent, that's a total of $90,000 per month in passive income.
That's a nice chunk of change.
It is. Of course, there are responsibilities that come with being a landlord. You have to manage the properties, deal with repairs, potentially find new tenants.
It's not completely hands-off then?
Not completely. But once you have a system in place, it can be a very reliable source of passive income.
All right, we talked about YouTube and blogging as a way to earn active income, but it can also become a source of passive income, right?
Absolutely. The content you create can continue to generate income long after you've created it.
How does that work?
Well, with YouTube, it's mainly through ad revenue. The ads that play before, during, or after your videos. The more views you get, the more ad revenue you generate.
So a video you made a year ago could still be making you money today.
Exactly. And you can also include affiliate links in your video descriptions, which can continue to generate income over time.
Okay, and how about blogging?
It's a similar concept. A blog post you write today could still be attracting readers and generating income from ads or affiliate links months, even years from now.
So the work you do up front can pay off for a long time.
That's the beauty of passive income.
What kind of income can someone realistically expect to make passively from YouTube or blogging?
The sources suggested a pretty wide range, from 50,000 to 5 lakh per month. It really depends on the niche, the quality of your content, how effectively you monetize it, and how much traffic you can attract.
Okay, the final passive income avenue we want to talk about is something that's getting a lot of attention these days: digital products and apps.
Yeah, this one has a lot of potential, especially with the rise of AI and automation.
Remind me what kinds of digital products we're talking about.
We mentioned some earlier: ebooks, templates, worksheets, software applications, mobile apps, anything that exists digitally and can be sold repeatedly.
So you create it once and then potentially sell it thousands, even millions of times.
Exactly. The sources gave the example of an AI-powered productivity app that has the potential to generate 10 lakh or more per month. Once the app is developed and marketed, the sales can continue to flow in passively.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here.
It's about creating assets that work for you, generating income even when you're not actively working on them.
So the key principle with passive income is that you put in the effort up front to create something that can generate income over the long term.
Exactly. It's about building a system that works for you.
This has been a lot to take in. I mean, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But it can also feel a little overwhelming, especially for someone who's just starting out. So for someone listening to this who's thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but where do I actually begin? What's a practical first step they can take today?
Well, the sources we looked at actually provided a very helpful 3-step action plan.
Okay, I like action plans. Break it down for me.
The first step is choose a high-income skill or business. Pick one area that genuinely interests you, something you're passionate about, something that aligns with your strengths.
Right, because you're more likely to stick with it if you enjoy it.
Exactly. So we've talked about a lot of options. Maybe you're drawn to AI and automation or digital marketing, or maybe you want to explore trading and investments. Or maybe you're a natural entrepreneur and you're excited about one of those business models.
Choose your adventure.
Exactly.
Right, what's step 2?
Step 2 is crucial. It's where the rubber meets the road. Take action and build an income stream.
So no more just thinking about it. It's time to actually do something.
Exactly. If you've chosen to develop a skill, maybe start offering your services on a freelance platform. If you're into investing, start researching and making some small, well-considered investments. If you want to start a business, take those first steps to get it off the ground.
Don't be afraid to start small.
Exactly. The important thing is to start taking action, gain experience, and learn as you go.
All right, what's the final step in the plan?
The final step is all about long-term growth. It's about scaling and automating your efforts.
So you've started making some money. Now what?
Now you think about how to multiply those earnings. Maybe you hire a team to help you handle more work. Maybe you invest in software or systems to automate repetitive tasks. Maybe you start building passive income streams. It's about working smarter, not harder.
So as you start to see success, reinvest those earnings strategically to fuel further growth.
Exactly. It's a continuous cycle of improvement and expansion.
Okay, so to sum it all up, what's the main takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the main takeaway is that earning €30,000 per day, while a very ambitious goal, is potentially achievable.
It's not a pipe dream.
Not at all. But
No.
it takes focus. It takes effort. It takes making smart decisions about where to direct your energy.
It's about choosing the right path, the right skills, the right business model, and then putting in the work.
And it's about not waiting for the perfect moment. The sources we looked at really emphasize that. Start now. Take action today.
Don't let procrastination hold you back.
Exactly. The longer you wait, the further away that goal becomes.
So as you consider all the different paths we've explored today, from mastering AI to building a portfolio of income-generating rental properties, ask yourself, which one resonates with you? Which one feels like the most natural fit for your skills, your interests, and your risk tolerance?
And then ask yourself, what's one small action you can take today to start moving in that direction?
A small step today can lead to big results tomorrow. That's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.